Hi everyone, my name is Lisette Salinas. I'm a biology major with chemistry and psychology minors here at Missouri State. I plan on applying to the physician's assistant program here at MSU so I can begin my career as an advanced healthcare professional. I graduated from Ozarks Technical Community College back in 2019, where I received my Associates of Applied Science in Surgical Technology. Since then, I have been working as a surgical technologist at the Mercy Eye Surgery Center. In my mind, I have always categorized cannibalism as something scary. And as a healthcare worker and even a biology major, the main things that I have learned about cannibalism is how dangerous it can be. I often associate cannibalism with prions, which cause spongiform encephalopathies, which is basically just a fancy way of saying tiny holes in your brain. So today in my presentation, I would like to shift the focus away from the fear of cannibalism in order to view its cultural aspects. Because after all, cannibalism was once a regular practice amongst our ancestors. So let's get right into it. What even is cannibalism? Well, it is defined for humans as the act of consuming organs and or flesh belonging to other human beings. While cannibalism is considered rare today, the most recent well-documented incident was the Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571, which occurred in 1972. That occurred only 50 years ago. That's pretty recent. In 2013, archaeologists were able to discover some of the first physical evidence of human cannibalism dating back to 1609 in Jamestown, Virginia, a time they refer to as the starving time. All right, so there is three different types of cannibalism: ritual, survival, and pathological. Ritual cannibalism is practiced by tribal groups. This can involve eating the flesh of someone outside of the tribe after an outsider attack as a form of retaliation. Other forms of ritualistic cannibalism may be used to honor the dead, which this will be further discussed on the next slide. The next form, survival cannibalism, is committed by people when they believe there is no other option to keep them alive, such as during a famine, a military siege, plane crashes, etc. Oftentimes, the survivors of such hardships were left with no food, surrounded by the bodies of the dead. It was either consume a dead body or become a dead body. The third type of cannibalism is pathological, and this is typically what people first think when they hear the term cannibalism. It is the voluntary, keyword is voluntary, consumption of organs and or flesh belonging to another human. Throughout history, there have been notable instances of serial killers who would consume the bodies of their victims. One of the most notable serial killers who practiced this was Jeffrey Dahmer. Because this is a psychology course, we will focus our attention on ritual cannibalism and where this is taking place today. The Korai tribe of New Guinea are one of the last tribes in the world who are still believed to practice cannibalism. They live on the southeastern region of Papua New Guinea. This tribe is relatively isolated from the rest of the world, which may be because they threaten to kill any outsiders who get too close. Because the Korai live in the depths of a rainforest and have little knowledge of the outside world, they have no concept of disease and how they spread. They view deaths caused by disease as mysterious. They believe that disease comes from evil witches that take on the form of males. Therefore, whenever someone is dying of a disease, the victim will tell their relatives who they believe the witch is, or kakwa is. Kakwa is the term that they actually call witch. The tribe then goes on to kill and eat the suspected kakwa. This is said to be the only tribal practice of cannibalism for the Korai tribe. Now, another tribe, the Wari tribe of Western Brazil, this is another one of the last tribes in the world to still practice cannibalism. They eat members of their tribe who have died as part of their funeral celebration. The belief behind this is that after consuming the dead tribal member, their spirit would then transfer from the dead body into the bodies of the living who have consumed it. They also eat the dead bodies to allow for those living to grieve more easily. They practice cannibalism also as a means of body disposal. Disposing of the body in this way leaves few remains, making it easier for the living to move on as they won't have the body in their sights or in their presence. All right, before I finish, let me take a moment to talk about the sources I used to create this presentation. Here you will see I have included 3 hyperlinks. The first one will take you to the main scholarly article that I used to find most of my information. The article is titled An Investigation into the Association Between Cannibalism and Serial Killers. It has 2 authors, Abby Morano and David Keatley. This article was published online May 17th of this year, 2022. The second hyperlink is for an article by Smithsonian Magazine titled Sleeping with Cannibals, published in 2006 by Paul Raphael. This article talks about the Korai tribe and Paul's venture into their territory. The last hyperlink is for an article titled Learning to Love Cannibals, published in 2002. This article follows author Beth Conklin of Vanderbilt University as she began studying the Wari tribe. This article offers a new perspective on cannibalism. As mentioned in my introduction, even I had always thought of cannibalism as something scary and violent. Hopefully, after listening to my presentation today, you have a new perspective on it as well. Cannibalism is not always gruesome and horrific. It can be culturally uplifting and healing for those tribes that continue to practice it. Now, before I end this presentation, let me leave you with food for thought. Going back to survival cannibalism, would you rather eat a dead body or become one? Thank you for listening.